Years ago, I found myself in a situation where my team was looking to me for answers that I didn't yet have. Tonight, I invite you into that moment. Good evening. Welcome to the Leadership Forge. This is where challenges don't simply test leaders. They forge them. Every leader has a moment that forges their character. Every leader has a story. Not a story about success. Not a story about promotions. Not a story about awards. A story about one difficult night. One difficult decision. One defining moment. Because leadership isn't built in comfortable meeting rooms. It is forged in moments when uncertainty walks through the door. It started like every other day. People arrived at work. Coffee was poured. Meetings were scheduled. Deadlines were waiting. Everything appeared normal. But leadership has a strange habit. It never announces when the real test is coming. It simply arrives. And when it does, everything changes. Then, the phone rang. The message wasn't good. A client was unhappy. A project was failing. The team was confused. Suddenly every answer seemed uncertain. Everyone turned toward one person. The leader. Not because the leader knew every answer. But because people needed confidence more than certainty. That is the first lesson. Leaders don't eliminate uncertainty. They guide people through it. At moments like these, titles become meaningless. Experience helps. Knowledge matters. But character becomes everything. When pressure increases, our true leadership is revealed. Pressure doesn't create character. Pressure reveals it. That is why difficult moments become the forge. DK. Every leader has asked these questions. The difference is not whether fear exists. The difference is whether courage speaks louder than fear.
Maya. But how do you know if you're ready? When you've never faced this before?
DK. You don't. No leader ever feels completely ready. Leadership begins the moment you choose to act despite uncertainty. The leader paused. Not because they had no answer. But because they understood something important. The loudest voice isn't always the wisest one. Sometimes leadership begins with silence. In that brief pause, clarity appears. The answer isn't found outside. It is discovered within. DK. Preparation. Every challenge shapes the leader you're becoming.
Maya. So, are challenges punishment? Or preparation?
DK. Steel becomes stronger because it enters the fire. Again and again. The fire is not your enemy. The fire is your teacher. Every leader eventually reaches a crossroads. Blame. Or responsibility. Fear. Or action. Excuses. Or ownership. Nobody else can make that choice. Leadership begins the moment excuses end. The leader stood before the team. There were no perfect answers. No magic solution. Only honesty. We have a challenge. We'll face it together. We'll learn. We'll improve. And something remarkable happened. Confidence returned. Not because the problem disappeared. But because trust appeared. Trust is leadership's greatest currency. The challenge eventually passed. The crisis ended. The project recovered. But something more valuable remained. The leader was no longer the same person. Experience had become wisdom. Pressure had become confidence. Failure had become preparation. The forge had done its work. Years later, people rarely remember the spreadsheets. They forget the meetings. They don't remember the reports. But they always remember how a leader made them feel during difficult times. That is your legacy. Not what you managed, but who you became. A smooth sea never made a skilled sailor. It's familiar, memorable, and fits perfectly. What would you do? Would you react? Or would you lead? Because leadership isn't measured when everything goes according to plan. Leadership is measured when nothing does.
Would I be remembered? For my title? Or for my choices?
Imagine it's 9:17 p.m. Your phone rings. The biggest project has failed. Your team is waiting outside your office. No one knows what to do. Close your eyes for just 5 seconds. Every one of us is walking through a forge. Some of us are facing uncertainty. Some are rebuilding after failure. Some are preparing for challenges we cannot yet see. Whatever your situation, remember this. The fire is temporary. The strength it creates can last a lifetime. Leadership is forged.
Then maybe every challenge is an opportunity to become the leader you're meant to be.
Close your eyes for just 5 seconds. Imagine it's 9:17 p.m. Your phone rings. The biggest project has failed. Your team is waiting outside your office. No one knows what to do. Every moment that shaped your character. As you leave today, don't ask, how can I avoid challenges? Instead ask, who will I become because of them? Thank you for watching.